Camp Rhino, where you can train for obstacles, you can train boot camp, Crossfit, one of over 40 events each year, Krav Maga, self-defense, and learn about nutrition and help you lose weight and keep a healthier life. This is Camp Rhino.
Las Vegas, Nevada, with Julie Johnston, the owner of Camp Rhino, which is a
indoor obstacle course training facility with CrossFit boot camp, Krav Maga.
Basically everything that you could want.
And then we run a lot of events. So just about every weekend our members get to participate in something that's a little bit crazy, a little bit fun. Most of them are specifically training for either the Spartan race or even death races or just training just to have fun training.
How did you get the idea to start a boot camp type fitness program?
You have to rewind back before obstacle course racing, back before crazy events, crazy people. All you had was your mom's aerobics class or like kung fu where you really had to hit each other. And that was your choice for exercise. Or you could go and you could just lift weights at the gym and be, you know, a bodybuilder type person. And I wanted something that would take the weight off. I wanted to go join the military just to do their boot camp. I wanted to get my butt kicked, and obstacle courses and crawling on the ground kind of looked like something that I would be into in just a weird, like, sick way. And so I got this idea to start my own boot camp out at the park, and I hired these military guys, but I was really big, and my friends, we were all kind of big, and so when we went out there, they underestimated a little bit what we could do, and so we ended up kind of marching around and doing like 10 sit-ups and 10 push-ups, and it just wasn't what I wanted. So the next day I said, okay, come back, I'm gonna teach it, I know what I want. And so my friends came back and we were crawling on the ground and I threw up, and I just, like, it was like we were carrying buckets of water and just kind of going crazy, and they all hated it and thought it was stupid. But I went and posted flyers all around UNLV and made a little website, and I got one client. And that client stayed with me for the whole first year. And she was the only one that liked it. Everybody else that started it hated it. All of my friends, like, everybody said, that is just the dumbest thing ever.
When did you put on your first event?
After the first year, I decided that it was time to, like, make or break it. It was very tough mentally to have something that I was so excited about and only have like one other person that would pay for it or be into it. But I knew if there was one person, and there's 2 million people in Las Vegas, there has to be more like her, there has to be more like me. Yeah. So we did this little media challenge, and we told Fox 5 that News 3 was coming, and we told News 3 that Fox 5 was coming, and we were like, it's gonna be an obstacle course challenge between, you know, the anchors or the reporters or whoever would come. Yeah. And Channel 3 came out, and they sent 2 reporters and did a 2-hour live segment, and we got a bunch of people to come out to that boot camp to, like, be on camera and make it look like it was successful. Like, I would call my mom by her first name, good job, Kathy, nice form, acting like she was a client. And I got 83 phone calls within the first 2 hours.
Wow.
And that was when I knew that it was going to be hard, but I would just have to find those people that liked to train the way I did. I didn't need to make it easier like everyone was telling me. I didn't need to, like, bring it inside. I just needed to find the people that liked to do things the way I did.
What made you really decide to become an obstacle racing facility?
We were out at Sunset Park, and we brought a bunch of obstacles out there, and we were just tired. We'd been setting up obstacles on the weekends for people to train on, like, over and over and over, and my crew and I, we were just exhausted, and the only time we got to play on them was after we'd broken our backs setting them up. And we never got to get really good at them. The only time we got to compete was after setting it up. I remember a rope climb before everyone knew the different, you know, the wrap method or the J hook or whatever. Before we knew those methods, I remember being in the middle of a competition and it took me an hour to get up the rope because you couldn't use your legs, and we'd never done it except for when we set it up for competitions. So we were at Sunset Park, and Jathan and my brothers, John and Brent, we were just looking at each other, and it was the whole OCR thing was definitely in full swing in 2012. And we knew that people needed a place where they could go anytime and learn how to climb a rope, learn how to get over a wall, try the Spartan Traverse, try the Trolling Traverse. And right across the street, there was a big warehouse available, and within 2 weeks, we had the keys to it. We didn't have, I used all the money I had on the first month's rent and the security deposit. It's just so expensive to get a big warehouse like in the middle of town. And we had all our obstacles, so we're like, oh, we're just gonna put obstacles in there and it'll be great, and we'll be open from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day. So as you can imagine, the four of us just about died getting this thing open because we needed to start making revenue to pay next month's rent. Like now, we don't have time to set this thing up, and somehow we made it. And really, it's these events carried us. So every weekend when we'd put on an event, we'd make enough money to cover the rent for Camp Rhino.
So tell us a little bit more about the Olympia that's coming up in September. That event, what it includes, and how you can sign up for it.
The Olympia competition is a mixture between CrossFit and obstacles, and anyone can definitely sign up. There's $5,000 on the line. We have a long-running relationship with Olympia dating back to 2008, and in 2008, they asked us to set up an obstacle course at Olympia because they had 200 foot of floor space that someone had kind of backed out of, and they needed to fill it, and we had a course. And I spent an extra $30,000 on it thinking, oh man, I could get, there's 20,000 people that go to this expo, and I could get X number of dollars for each one of these people, and I'll definitely make my money back, right? Well, no. A bodybuilding expo, which is what it was back at that time, nobody was interested in obstacles. Nobody wanted to like go over and around and through things. And I heard so many times, and I'm not going to make fun of anybody because everybody does their own thing, but I heard a lot of, oh, I'm gonna have my protein today, or I can't lift my body weight, but I'm really big. No. But now Olympia has changed into a fitness and performance expo. So now when you go to the Olympia Expo, you see a lot of CrossFit things, you see a lot of every type of fitness activity there, and it's really, really cool to be at and to experience. And so now to this day, they give us 200 feet of floor space, and we put on this CrossFit obstacle competition, and it is one of the hardest competitions if you do it right, because mixing obstacles with lifting weights and doing handstand walks, if you do it right, you do it all out, you are going to be completely spent at the end of it. But on rhinocrossfit.com you can get all the information on that event, and there's only a few hundred spots, so I recommend everybody sign up.
Thank you so much for being here today, taking the time. I know your schedule's incredibly busy, and letting us learn a little bit more about you.
Of course, it's been fun. It's been fun. Thanks for hanging out and just doing everything that we're doing in a weekend, which is a ton.
This episode of Obstacle and Adventure Weekly is brought to you in part by Win High Performance Sports Detergent, formulated to release the odors and restore wicking ability of your favorite sports apparel. Sweat hard, smell great with Win.
Is everybody ready? Everybody make some noise if you're ready. No!
Today's 1-minute review is on the Icebug Enlight RB9X. It's a light off-road shoe that's well suited for trail running and training in wet or dry conditions. The RB9X refers to Icebug's extreme rubber compound, which holds up well to the abuse of rocks and obstacles while still being durable enough for roads and sidewalks. These are flexible and light. They're just over 8 ounces when dry, and they provide some good ground control with an 8mm drop with a soft midsole that absorbs well on uneven surfaces. These are a must-have for those who do any type of off-road training, running, or hiking, and specifically for OCRs with just a little less mud. The Enlight RB9X is available for around $125 from OCRgear.com and some other online retailers.
Submit your own 1-minute review on our Facebook page. Hi everyone, we're here today to make our own sandbag. Last week I showed you a couple different options for sandbags. They're not always in everybody's budget, or you're waiting for them, you want it right now. If you're like me, it's really hard to wait. So I'm going to show you how to make a sandbag. Everything behind me I got from Home Depot, and total cost was just about $20. Just have a bathroom scale that's going to help me to make sure that I know how much my bag weighs. I'm going to make one hole, not too big, on the top of my bag. The reason we don't want to make a big hole is because we're going to end up taping this up. The reason I'm weighing it along the way is I want to make sure that I haven't poured out too much. Currently it's sitting at about 42 pounds, so looks like I have more to go. I recommend weighing a roll of tape with the sand, then you get an idea so you can get it more accurate if you're worried about it being exactly on the exact poundage. But for the rest of us, it's okay. We don't need it to be exact. It's going to end up being our training tool anyways. A 30-pound bucket now full of sand, which I can either put a lid on it, use that in my training, or make another bucket or make another sandbag afterwards out of a few grocery bags or even reusable shopping bags. Anything that you don't mind just duct taping up. Totally. The next step with my bag here that looks pretty empty at this point is I'm going to shape it into how I want it to be. Try to even it out. If you're worried about getting messy, do this outside. I added 2 pieces in the beginning here just to get the shape that I wanted. Once it gets to be the shape and the size that you want, then you're going to cover the entire bag with duct tape. And here we have it, the finished product. Our very own, personalized, custom sandbag.
OCR Warriors coming at you from Cincinnati, Ohio at Mud Guts and Glory, the home of the OCR World Championships. These 6 athletes are going to be taking on this diabolical course to see who will be the next
OCR Warrior!
Stay tuned. Oh, I love you guys.